Good morning, Coach Bill O'Brien.
Morning, guys. Big morning there on the Greg Hill Show.
Yes.
Jackson just told me.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Courtney.
Thank you, Coach.
That is awesome. Hey, there's going to be a BC package of onesies. So we'll send it. It'll be on the way soon.
Thank you. I can't wait.
No doubt.
Yeah. What do you think? What would your guess be at tuition by the time that little bundle of joy is ready to go to college at BC? What's your guess? What's your guess on the number?
Oh God. It's close to $100,000 right now. So I don't know. It would be it would be a tough guess on my part.
Well, you have how many do you have? How many kids do you have, Bill?
I have 2 boys.
Yeah, it's the greatest thing in the world.
Yep.
I mean, I can't be happier for these two. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's obviously life-changing. It's incredible to be a parent, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and if you have the right last name like Wiggins, then your kid can be a D1 football player. Mine should have been, but he had the wrong last name.
True.
So. But I'm not bitter about it at all. Bentley was fine for him. Whatever.
Whatever.
No doubt. I had the pleasure of meeting Wiggs' sons last weekend at the Hall of Fame, Dylan Foxbury. Awesome guys. Great to meet them.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on that? Not only with Julian Edelman, but with Bill Parcells.
Yeah, I just think that those are such cool days. I mean, having been involved with that team when I was there, and just to be able to be involved in those ceremonies with Julian. And then I had spoken to Coach Parcells on the phone a few times and things like that, but had never met him. And so it was cool to meet him and be a part of that. And it was just an awesome day. Those days are cool. When they did it for Tom, that was an awesome reunion last year. And last weekend was no different.
Oh, where are you, since you bring it up, where are you on any advantage that Tom Brady might get by doing his Fox job while being equity owner in the Raiders?
Yeah, I think that's pretty overblown. I really do. I think those production meetings, they're cool. I mean, they're a necessary deal, I guess. I mean, I really say I guess on that because I've been in so many of those production meetings that are just, and the people are awesome. So don't get me wrong,
Yep.
like the announcers and all, but it's just a complete waste of time. Like, go through the starting lineups, and then there's no scheme talked in those things. Really, there's no scheme that's really spoken about in those meetings. I mean, what are you going to go in there and start drawing up your opening plays for the Fox announcers? Like, I mean, that never happens. It's really just kind of a, it's a session of catching up. Maybe the people, and there's a little bit of a friendship there and things like that. But there's no scheme talked about.
Billy, I'm just curious because we were talking about the Edelman induction. You were the quarterback coach, I believe, when he was drafted, or offensive coordinator for a year. What was, I remember the famous line now that Belichick asked Wes Welker, do you know who Wally Pipp is? What was the transformation like with Edelman, and did you guys know he was going to be a receiver when you drafted him, even though he was a quarterback at Kent State?
Those are great questions that we talked a lot about last weekend. I mean, no, we did not. Look, we decided to start him out at receiver, but there were guys that thought he could be a running back. They thought he could be a safety. He was just a guy that we knew we wanted in the organization because of the way that he competed and his playing strength and his leadership at Kent State. And so when he got there, we put him at slot. But, he really was different than Wes. A lot of people do compare him to Wes, but he was different. He was a little bit bigger. You could use him on the outside, but he did initially start off at slot. He was right behind Wes in every, route drill that we did, and he would try to mimic what Wes did. And I think that kind of helped him, right? That he could see how it was going to be done, and he had that ability to mimic it. And then over time, he was able to master it, and we moved him outside and did other things. In the beginning, Curtis, he was hurt a lot. So I was there. I was the coordinator, basically for 3 years there with him. He was hurt, and over the course of time, he learned how to stay healthy and turned into what he became.
Bill, I think we've talked about Belichick and what's going on at UNC. Talk a little bit about your situation here, where you guys coming off a difficult loss against a conference opponent, got another conference opponent coming up. How to make sure that not necessarily you lose the locker room, but you keep guys motivated and invested, because we talk about that with Belichick down at UNC. How's he going to handle that? What have you been able to do in this tough stretch to make sure guys still stay locked in?
No, I'm honest with them, Wig. I just tell them, hey, look, this is what we need to do. These are the things that we have to improve on. We have good guys in this locker room. They show up every day ready to go. We've had a good couple weeks here, very competitive practices. I thought yesterday was one of our best practices. I can only go off of what I see, and I think, when you start sitting there, and this is what I tell these guys, and I'm not trying to get too deep or anything. I'm just saying this is what life's about. You get knocked down. How are you going to handle adversity? This is how you deal with things. And if this is an indication of how you deal with adversity, then let's see if we can overcome this. And so we talk a lot about that. We talk about correcting mistakes and playing free and not overthinking things and just go out and play. And I think we're home, which I think is great. We'll have a great home crowd, and we're excited about the game.
Bill, having this home game coming up against Cal, coming off a tough loss like you did, do you feel like a bye week came at a good time for you guys, or do you wish that you could have played immediately after?
No, I think the bye week was perfect for us. We came back. The last two trips have been tough, right? Late night games, kind of, the schedule's kind of, out of our routine. So we were able to get back into our routine, and I think it came at a good time, to help some guys heal up, but also to reconnect and understand what we're all about, and have some scrimmages last week and get back to what we believe in at BC football and, regroup a little bit. I think it came at a good time for us.
Is there such thing as a must win? And if so, when it comes to this season, is this one?
I think I don't understand that term too much. I mean, I get it. I do. This is a very important game, but they're all important, right? I mean, we only get 12 opportunities. This is something that I talk to these guys about all the time. We're not guaranteed a 13th opportunity. So we only get 12. So every one of them is a game that you have to go out there and, push your best foot forward and see how things happen. But, there's no doubt that this is an important game, but I think every game is vitally important to this program.
Bill, one of the things that really opened my eyes up Saturday is, hearing Jules talk about and hearing you guys talk about, him never getting down. He might have got frustrated at times, and then you hear Parcells just talking about how he motivates the guys. What's the biggest thing that you've learned through your coaching career that you've been able to kind of instill in your players to get the best out of them?
I think you really got to get to know each guy. I think that's, when I first took the Houston job, I talked to Coach Parcells, and he was awesome. And one of the things that he said to me was, you really got to get to know each player on a different level. And I had never really thought about that as much as an assistant coach. And I did that a lot at Penn State, but now, when I moved to Houston pro football, I didn't know exactly how you would do that. He gave me some tips as to how to do that. And throughout the last, 12, 13 years of my career, I've really tried to do that, because the players have to know that you care. You care about their development. You care about their success. And each one of them is a little bit different. And I think that's the beauty of football. And so I think that's the key. So you can then, now what makes this guy tick, and then in turn you can go and stand up in front of the team and really, inspire the team. I don't know if it's about motivating. I think these guys are very motivated. I think it's more about inspiring them to do what you're asking them to do at a high level.
Must make you proud to see the guy who taught you the entire Alabama offense do so well in his role currently with the 49ers.
Oh.
He's hey man, he did a good job. I'll tell you, the guy who really taught me a lot about the Alabama offense is coming in this weekend, Bryce Young for the Panthers. That's the guy. Like I coached him at Alabama, but yeah, Max, hey, he's doing a good job out there to take over for Purdy, and I give him a lot of credit. He's a resilient guy, and he's doing a good job out there.
Billy, now that you're in college, would you say that Kyle Shanahan is the best molder of quarterbacks in the NFL?
Kyle does a good job. He does a great job. He's got a really good system. He's very, very smart. I think when you watch them on film, they're very disciplined. The way that they operate, right? Their motions, their shifts, the way that they operate the offense, the way that he teaches the quarterback, the different things that they do. I think he does a great job. But I think there's a lot of really great quarterback developers in the NFL, and I think he's had a lot of good quarterbacks, and they've really taken to his system. But yeah, he should get a lot of credit. He does a great job.
Did Bill Belichick ever mention being on the cover of Us magazine on his bucket list?
Us Weekly.
Us Weekly.
Thank
sorry,
you.
whatever it's called.
Put some respect on its name.
Did he ever?
No.
Ever bring that up as a kind of a life goal?
No. No, when we were sitting there talking about, goal line or short yardage or third down or red area, Us Weekly did not come up in the conversation.
Has Father Leahy said that he wants you on the cover now? Or
I mean, that would not be anything that I would be asked to do or want to do.
Oh, and good luck. Let's go out and get one here.
That's right. We got to do this. I appreciate it, Greg, and I really appreciate you guys having me on the show. And again, congratulations, Courtney.
Thank you, Bill.
All right. That is Bill O'Brien, head coach of Boston College football, on this show every Thursday.